Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Wildlife Wisdom. As so far, I've been your host, Zero Yeti. Apologies, I'm kind of dealing with a cold right now, so if I start coughing, that's why. Anyway, the first animal of the week we have is Ponga viticeps, more commonly known as the central bearded dragon, or the inland bearded dragon, or outside of Australia, simply known as the bearded dragon. It is one of 8 species of bearded dragon, the genus Pogona, in the family Agamidae, which is native throughout eastern and central Australia, where it can be found inhabiting shrublands, dry woodlands, and rocky deserts. They are a solitary, diurnal, and semi-arboreal species which climbs onto tree limbs, rock faces, fence posts, and bushes, as well as other man made structures, to sunbathe in the morning and evening, and they retreat into burrows come nightfall and during the hottest parts of the day. They are opportunistic omnivores, which feed upon leaves, roots, uh, fruit, flowers, other plant material, as well as insects, arachnids, worms, eggs, and the occasional rodent, small marsupial, or other small reptile. Central bearded dragons are themselves preyed upon by dingoes, quolls, large snakes, monitor lizards, crocodiles, terns, owls, hawks, falcons, kites, eagles, foxes, and feral cats. Reaching up to 2 feet or 60 centimeters in length, central bearded dragons sport broad triangular heads with a third photoreceptive parietal eye in the center of their head, on their forehead, which is covered by skin. They have flattened bodies covered in rows and clusters of spiny scales, and when threatened, they puff their bodies and beards to ward off predators, making their somewhat dull spikes seem even more dangerous. Some sexual dimorphism is present in this species, as males can be distinguished by females, from females, by a wider colloquial opening, a wider base of the tail, bigger femoral pores, and a larger head and beard. Like all bearded dragon species, they vary wildly in color, including brown, reddish brown, red, yellow, white, and orange colorations. Breeding typically occurs in the early spring, and after a month and a half gestation period, females will lay a clutch of 11 to 30 oblong shaped eggs in a shallow nest dug into the sand. After being laid, the eggs are buried and left unattended, and hatch after incubating for around 60 to 80 days. Under ideal conditions, a bearded dragon will reach sexual maturity around 1 to 2 years of age and may have upwards of 15. Next up, we have the Sumatran tiger, which is a population and subspecies, of Panthera tigris, endemic to the Indonesian island of Sumatra. With the extinction of the Bali and Javan tigers, the Sumatran tiger is the only surviving tiger population in the Sunda Islands. They prefer lowland rainforests and montane cloud forests, only occasionally venturing into grasslands and swamps. Compared to other tiger subspecies, Sumatran tigers are fairly tolerant of each other's presence, with multiple individuals often sharing the same territory. They are still solitary predators which feed upon lizards, large birds, monkeys, orangutans, tapirs, porcupines, smaller cats, dholes, sun bears, binturongs, civets, serow, pigs, and deer. Males are larger, reaching around 7.3 to 8.4 feet, or 2.2 to 2.5 meters in length, and around 220 to 310 or 100 to 140 kilograms in weight, compared to females who reach around 7 to 7.7 feet, or 2.1 to 2.3 meters long, and weigh around 165 to 245 pounds, or 75 to 110 kilograms in weight. This ranks the Sumatran tiger as the smallest subspecies of tiger alive today. Compared to other subspecies, it has darker fur coloration, and broader and more frequent stripes that tend to dissolve into spots near the ends of their tails. Uh, on their back, flanks, and hind legs are lines of small dark spots between the regular stripes. Males additionally typically have a prominent ruff of fur. Breeding typically occurs from November to April, and after a 103-day pregnancy, a mother tiger will give birth to 1 to 7 cubs. Weaning takes place around 90 to 100 days, and cubs usually remain by their mother's side until they reach around 18 months to 3 years of age. Females reach sexual maturity sooner at around 3 to 4 years of age, while males mature at around 4 to 5 years of age. Under ideal conditions, a Sumatran tiger may live up to 15 years. Next up is Scates props, which is more commonly known as the crucifix sea catfish, the Christ fish, the crucifix catfish, the crucifix fish, the crucifish, or the gillbacker. It is a species of catfish in the family Ariidae, which is native to South America, where it is endemic to the countries of Colombia, Brazil, Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, as well as the Caribbean islands of Puerto Rico, Trinidad, and Tobago. It is a highly adaptable Euryhaline species, which inhabits freshwater rivers, streams, and lakes, as well as brackish lagoons, estuaries, river deltas, mangrove swamps, and coastal marine waters. It is an omnivorous fish, which feeds upon insects, crustaceans, isopods, gastropods, worms, fallen fruit, leaves, bark, and smaller fish, with a preference for eels. The crucifix catfish is itself preyed upon by crocodilians, snakes, otters, large fish-eating birds, turtles, dolphins, sharks, and large bony fish. Reaching up to 40 inches or 100 centimeters in length and 20 pounds or 9 kilograms in weight, the crucifix catfish sports an elongated blue to dark gray body and a flattened head with wide-spaced small eyes and 3 pairs of barbels. The dorsal fin is high with a long serrated spine, and pectoral fins are the same size as the dorsal fin with strong but weakly serrated spines. This fish gets its common name because of the underside of its skull has a bony structure which many claim to look like a crucifix, or a painting of Christ being crucified, and is surrounded by a Weberian bone in the form of a halo. Because of this, the fish is highly trafficked so that their skulls can be sold throughout the world as a crucifix. The breeding season for this fish takes place from November to April, during which time a female lays several thousand eggs. Under ideal conditions, a crucifix sea catfish will reach sexual maturity around 1.5 years of age and live upwards of 4. Next up is the great blue heron, which is a large wading bird in the heron family Ardeidae, which is endemic to north central and the upper part of South America, as well as throughout the Caribbean and Galapagos Islands. It is also an occasional visitor to Greenland, Iceland, Ireland, Great Britain, Spain, Portugal, Hawaii, and the Azores Islands. They are generally solitary animals, which inhabit fresh and saltwater marshes, mangrove forests, cypress swamps, flooded meadows, rivers, lakes, and coastlines, feeding primarily upon fish, but are also known to prey upon amphibians, turtles, snakes, lizards, young crocodilians, crustaceans, insects, mollusks, shrews, rodents, weasels, rabbits, and small birds like rails, snipes, woodcocks, phalaenopes, terns, gribs, gulls, and dippers. Great blue herons are themselves occasionally preyed upon by bald eagles, golden eagles, great horned owls, Harris hawks, bobcats, cougars, ocelots, and bears. Staying around 45 to 54 inches or 115 to 138 centimeters tall, reaching around 36 to 54 inches or 91 to 138 centimeters long, and weighing 4 to 8 pounds or 1.8 to 3.6 kilograms in weight, with a 66 to 79 inch wingspan, which is 167 to 201 centimeters. The great blue heron is the third largest species of heron, behind the Goliath and the white-bellied heron, and the biggest native to the Americas. Notable features of the great blue herons include their grayish-blue flight feathers, red-brown thighs, and paired red, brown, and black stripe along the flanks, with a rusty gray neck and black and white streaking down the front. The long, sharp bill is a dull yellow to orange color, while the legs are an orange to gray. Unlike a lot of other birds, great blue herons pick a different mate every year, with the breeding season beginning as early as December for those in warmer climates to as late as March for those in colder climates. They gather in colonies up to 1,000 strong, known as heroneries. I hope I got that right. With males arriving first, constructing nests out of branches and sticks atop of rock outcrops, grass islands, trees, flooded bushes, cacti, beaver lodges, and man-made structures. With females choosing their partner based on their nests. The female will lay 3 to 6 pale blue eggs, which are incubated in shifts by both parents for around 27 days. The young fledge after 55 days, and under ideal conditions, a great blue heron may live up to 15 years. Next animal of the week is that of the sand cat, which is a small wild cat which is native to the sandy and snowy deserts of North Africa, the Middle East, and Central Asia. It is widely but not contiguously distributed throughout Algeria, Mali, Niger, Chad, Morocco, the Western Sahara, Mauritania, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Iraq, Oman, Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, Iran, Turkmenistan, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, and Kazakhstan. They are generally solitary nocturnal felines who spend their days inside of burrows and emerge at night to hunt, traveling up to 3.5 miles or 5.4 kilometers in a single night in search of prey such as rodents, hares, insects, lizards, snakes, including several species of viper, and birds up to the size of McQueen's buzzard. Sandcats generally satisfy their moisture requirements by drinking the blood and other bodily fluids of their prey, but will consume water when available. Sandcats are themselves preyed upon by foxes, golden jackals, and large monitor lizards, as well as caracals, owls, domestic dogs, and wolves. Staying around 9.5 to 14.2 inches or 24 to 36 centimeters tall at the shoulder, with a 24 36 inch or 62 to 86 centimeter long body and tail, and weighing around 3.3 to 7.5 pounds or 1.5 to 3.4 kilograms. The sandcat is characterized by a wide, flat head, short legs, and relatively long tail. It has thick colored fur with thin dark stripes and across its back, legs, and tail. The sandcat's face is round with dark stripe markings, large ears, and yellow eyes. Breeding may occur year-round. After a 59 to 66-day pregnancy, a mother sandcat will give birth to 1 to 8 kittens. For the first 4 weeks of their lives, kittens exclusively feed on milk, and then begin eating some of the food given to them by their mother. They are fully weaned by 2 months old and become mostly independent at 6 months of age. Under ideal conditions, a sandcat will reach sexual maturity around 1 year of age and will have upwards of 13. Next up is one of Oramaster's favorite creatures, which is Eunice aphroditois, which is more commonly known as the sand striker or the bobbit worm. It is a species of benthic bristleworm which is native to the warm marine waters of the Atlantic and Indo-Pacific, where it inhabits coral reefs, sandy seagrass meadows, rocky sponge groves, and other prey-rich areas up to 312 feet or 95 meters deep. This species is an ambush predator which hunts by burrowing its whole body into soft sediment of the ocean floor and waiting until it's intended to detect prey such as fish, crustaceans, mollusks, and echinoderms. When said prey touches the bobbworm's antenna, the worm lunges forward and seizes the prey with its mouth before dragging it to its burrow to devour. To reduce predation risk, some fish and cephalopods are known to engage in a mobbing behavior, during which a group will shoot jets of water or throw shells, rocks, and other objects at the bobbworm to hurt and disorient it. The bobbworm is also known to feed upon algae, coral, sponges, seagrass, and carrion. They are themselves eaten by large crabs, lobsters, eels, rays, and pufferfish. Bobbworms can range in length from less than 4 inches or 10 centimeters to upwards of 10 feet or 3 meters, making them the largest and longest known member of the polychaete class. Despite this, they are only around 1 inch wide. These worms have no eyes and rely on their 5 antennae on their head to sense the world around them. The body is covered by a hard exoskeleton. The mandibles can be retracted inside the body and are responsible for striking and stunning prey, and they're capable of snapping some prey in half. Its iridescent cuticle produces a wide range of metallic colors, from black to purple. During spawning, female polychaetes produce a pheromone that attracts males and causes them to release sperm. This, in turn, triggers females to release eggs into the water where fertilization occurs. Few offspring survive to adulthood because often the eggs are eaten by other animals or destroyed. Like many species of bristleworm, E. Aphrodotus can reproduce asexually by splitting into multiple segments, then regenerating body parts such as a head or tail. This enables them to survive being attacked by predators. Under ideal conditions, a bobworm will live upwards of 5 years. And our extinct animal of the week is Pachycephalosaurus. Pachycephalosaurus is a genus of ornithischian dinosaur which lived. Oh, I'm sorry for that. Pachycephalosaurus lived during the Maastrichtian stage of the late Cretaceous period in what is now North America some 70 to 66 million years ago. The first remains attributed to Pachycephalosaurus, consisting of a squamosal bone, was collected from the Lance Formation of southeastern Montana during the 1850s by fossil collector Ferdinand von Veer Hayden. It was described by Joseph Leidy in 1872 as belonging to the dermal armor of an armadillo-like animal he named Tyloestes. During the Bone Wars of 1890, one of Othniel Marsh's collectors, John Bell Hatcher, found a partial skull also at the Lance Formation, which Marsh assigned as being part of the body armor of Triceratops. Marsh also assigned a tooth to the now dubious ankylosaur Paleocyconus, in 1892. Several additional teeth and bones would be found and variously assigned to different ceratopsians or ankylosaurs. The name Pachycephalosaurus was coined in 1931 by Charles W. Gilmore when he described another partial skull from Wyoming. However, he later assigned it to the genus Troodon as T. wyomingensis. At the time, paleontologists thought that Troodon, then known only from teeth, was the same as Stegosaurus, and accordingly, what are known as Pachycephalosaurids today were assigned to the family Troodontidae, a misconception which was not corrected until 1945 by Charles M. Sternberg. In 1943, Baron Brown and Erich Mayer Schleicher used a mostly complete skull to reestablish genus Pachycephalosaurus and re-examine the previously mentioned remains attributed to the Pachycephalosaurus. Today, one species, P. wyomingensis, is considered valid. The anatomy of Pachycephalosaurus itself is poorly known, as only skulls and isolated postcranial elements have been found. Based on other Pachycephalosaurids, it was bipedal and reached around 14 to 15 feet or 4.2 to 4.6 meters long, and around 800 to 1,000 pounds or 360 to 450 kilograms in weight, making Pachycephalosaurus the largest Pachycephalosaurid. It sported a thick neck, short arms, a bulky body, big legs, and long tail. The skull was large but short, with forward-facing eyes and a large bony dome on the top of its skull, which was up to 10 inches or 25 centimeters thick. The dome's rear aspect was edged with bony knobs and short bony spikes projecting upwards from the snout. It is believed that these herd-dwelling dinosaurs utilized their armored head in both intraspecific combat and to ward off predators. In the back of the jaws, they had small ridged teeth, while towards the front they had serrated blade-like front teeth, as well as a beak at the tip. This means the Pachycephalosaurus was most likely omnivorous, feeding upon leaves, seeds, fruits, carrion, arthropods, and maybe small vertebrates. As always, take care to my guys, gals, and my binary pals. Have a wonderful day.